Hello everyone! This is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching. Welcome one and all to this newest edition of the Running on Empty Food Review series. I'm your host, The Report of the Week. Thank you for checking in. Pizza review from Little Caesars. I checked and it's been a while since I've tried out a pizza from them. And, alright, things are already off to a bad start. I want this to be a review that turns everything around. I want this to be a review that takes me by surprise, that proves me wrong. That's what I really want this to be, and I hope for it to be. But I don't have high expectations for this at all. And I guess I'll get to that in a minute. I'll tell you first what I'm going to be reviewing, and then why I really... This is going to be what it is, that's all I could say. For a limited time, and this is, I would have to imagine that it's to promote a new film coming out, which you're seeing with Burger King too. This time, though, to promote a new Fantastic Four movie, Little Caesars is releasing the Fantastic 4-in-1 pizza. So what it is essentially is that, you know, to sort of be a play on the name, you've got the pizza, 8 slices, but then each quadrant of the pizza has a different combination of toppings, and you'll see in a moment what I mean. So one section, i.e. 2 slices apiece, will have pepperoni. Then there will be a section whereupon there is classic cheese, a section where there is Italian sausage and bacon, and a section where there is pepperoni and jalapeno. Price can vary between $8 and $10, depending on the location. I paid around $9 for this pizza. Alright, so first and foremost, in addition to this, I got some crazy bread with the crazy sauce, and I took a little sample of that right before I got here. And the crazy sauce, there is something horribly wrong with it. I mean, this was the worst crazy sauce I've ever had. I mean, there is like something seriously wrong with it. I don't know if it's ancient or what, but you know, you dip the crazy bread in it, and none of the sauce even stuck to the piece of the crazy bread. It's like chunky and solid, and it doesn't even stick to it. So I don't know what's going on with that. And I hope that that's not the same sauce that's going to be put on this pizza, because, boy, I'm going to be in for a fun time after that, most likely. Anyway, not off to a good start, but I hope that's just separate, etc. They also mentioned that it comes in a collectible pizza box. So, you know, that's another thing. I really hope that we're not in a point in society today where someone's actually going to see some cheap, grease-stained, oily, filthy pizza box from Little Caesars and think, yeah, I'm going to collect a bunch of these in my house. Please don't. If you want roaches, that's how you get roaches. If you want mice, that's how you're going to get them. Just don't. Forget that they even said that these are collectible. I just hope we're not at the point where people are actually going to go blowing their paychecks so they could say, oh, I got the Human Torch pizza box from Little Caesars. I mean, it's just a pizza box, but to call it collectible was very weird verbiage, in my opinion. But nevertheless, there is the Human Torch, doing what Human Torches do. The Fantastic Four First Steps, only in theaters. Human Torch. So there you go. Alright, let's open this up. This is what I mean. I mean, it doesn't look bad. Like I said, I'm going to give the credit where credit is due, and I want this to be the review where, you know what, I go in with bottom-of-the-barrel expectations, and I'm blown away by what I receive. I want this to be one of those reviews, and that does happen from time to time. But there have been many There have been hits and misses from Little Caesars. You see what I mean? How each quadrant has the different toppings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be reviewing the pizza as a whole, essentially. And I'm sort of just going to go in, and I think I'm going to try a bite or two of each section, try to describe it briefly, and just try to determine, the quality thereof. And then that'll be that. And like I said, the price can't be beat. So started off with classic pepperoni. This is, the regular hand-tossed pizza. Looks like it has a little bit of seasoning on it, too. All right, we got to start somewhere, so let's begin here with the pepperoni. It's going in. Off to a better start than I expected. Like I said, so far so good, actually. Doughy. It's a doughy pizza, very greasy, of course, but the sauce on the pizza seems far better than the crazy sauce, so that's good. I'm sort of breathing a sigh of relief. Pepperoni has a little bit of spice to it. There's also a little bit of like garlic seasoning on the pizza as well. Not much of a very crispy crust or anything. It's more chewy than anything else, but like I said, so far so good. Get this piece of jalapeno here. Standard pepperoni. Now let's see how the jalapenos play in. Quite similar to the pepperoni slice, of course, with the addition of the jalapenos, which actually do provide a considerable spice, as one would expect from jalapeno peppers. It actually complements, surprisingly, the oils, not the oils, the tomato sauce, what I'm trying to say. I don't know why I said the oils. I guess I was looking at the box and seeing all the grease and everything, but it complements the sauce quite nicely, and that just works. Like the robustness of the sauce on the pizza with the spice of the jalapeno, it just blends together well. Take a quick sip. Alright, I wanted to do the 2 pepperoni ones in a row, obviously. So next is Italian sausage and bacon. So this should be interesting, and I'll actually give you a close-up of the slice so you could see it. Since it might be a little tougher to see, it's like there's little bacon bits and chunks with the pieces of the sausage there. So this ought to be interesting. So let's see. But so far, I went in with really low expectations, and mind you, I don't want you to think, oh, well, see, he went in thinking this was going to be utter... I'm trying to find a non-profane description. That this was just going to be bad, I'll say that. And now because it's edible, he loves it. Don't think that I'm going in with that attitude. This is actually genuinely better than I thought it was going to be. So now, let's try this out. The Italian sausage and bacon slice. If you could hear that, there's thunderstorms in the area once again, which I welcome. Of these so far, of the three that I've tried, I think I'll say that the Italian sausage and bacon is actually my favorite of them. And I'm sure what you could see by the cross-section and everything, how much of the toppings there are on this. A huge amount of these bacon crumbles thereon, but also a decent amount of these sausage chunks as well. And, it's flavorful. There's a good amount, like I said, you could taste it in every single bite. Doesn't taste stale, doesn't taste old. Yes, it's greasy, but again, it's like a meat lover's sort of pizza. I mean, it's really loaded with the toppings there, and it still has that garlic seasoning. You still have the robust sauce, balances it out well, and so far so good in that regard. Like I said, that's probably my favorite actually, because it's very flavorful, and has all the meats and all of that. And then next, classic cheese slice. This one seems to have a little more seasoning on it than the others, which might be intentional, or maybe it's just because you could sort of see it better. But let's see how this basic cheese slice is. Again, pretty basic. It's not loaded with the toppings like the other ones. Fairly neutral, I would say. Still greasy. I will say I do notice that you definitely can taste a little bit of that garlic seasoning, more so on these cheese slices than you can otherwise. But again, it's actually a pleasant combination as far as the sauce to cheese ratio is concerned. And I have to say, this is one of those instances where, I went in with low expectations. I went in not very optimistic and not very hopeful. There have been many times, granted, where I will go into a Little Caesars review, and yes, my hopes and dreams will come crashing down, crashing and burning, because what I receive is just some, disgustingly greasy concoction, that goes straight into the trash afterward. That's happened many, many times. But, then there are those instances where, with Little Caesars, on the other hand, you go in, you're not really sure, and then you actually get something out of it that it's like, what? This is better than I thought that it was. And as I mentioned, it's not just because I was fearful that this would just be trash, and then it turns out that it's something that I could actually eat, and therefore it's the best pizza I've ever had or anything. This actually holds its own against other fast food, takeout pizzas. And I emphasize that just so you know where I'm coming from in that regard. Now, it's got a good amount of toppings. It's got the diversity as far as the choices and selections are concerned. Everything holds up here. That's what I also have to say. And for $10, that's another thing. You're getting a good amount of pizza, a good amount of toppings, a little bit of everything, and I might even be willing, truth be told, to go as far as to say this is one of the better pizzas I've had from Little Caesars. Oh, here he goes again. He got us. He got us real good. But that's the truth. This actually might be one of the better pizzas I've had from Little Caesars. I've really no complaints about this. I was thrown for a loop with that crazy sauce, which is still serious problems there. But you know what? For $9, $10 to get all of this food with no real complaints, yeah, it's greasy fast food pizza, but for what it is, you get a little bit of everything. Each quadrant is good. Again, I like the sausage and bacon one the best, in my opinion. I can't complain. Little Caesars actually did a decent job here. Give credit where credit is due. Therefore, out of 10, the fantastic 4-in-1 pizza from Little Caesars, 8 out of 10 is the rating I'm giving it. And that's all that I have for you. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm your host, The Report of the Week.